G'day guys, Josh here. We're going to go through some more Deadeye guides here as well. Now, I did the first Deadeye guide, okay? Now let's just do a real check really, okay? We got a guide just waiting outside the chaos to just show it off. Yeah, I forgot a lot of things to go through. I mean, I went through the engravings and a few other things as well. And this is back when I was tier 2 before gems existed or anything like that. And I completely forgot about them. Like, I completely forgot gems. I was sitting there going like, looking at a video being like, I forgot a few things, didn't I? I forgot a lot of things. And I'm surprised no one picked up on it, to be honest. I'm like sitting here being like, oh, I forgot this, I forgot that, forgot this, forget that. But we're going to make a new and improved Deadeye guide that we must have this time, okay? That we must have. We won't miss anything out. But so let's just get the setup first of all, okay? So Deadeye, if you guys don't know, Deadeye have multiple different weapons. The sniper rifle, the shotgun, and the pistol. Instead of the normal tripod speciality mechanics as well that come with it. Now, with the Deadeye, you're realistically only using the shotty and the pistol, okay? You're not using the rifle at all. The rifle is pretty meh, to be honest. You really only use the rifle in PvP situations. Now, first with the skills that I've picked, okay? So basically, I've been slowly maximizing all my skills. You know, as you can see here, I got more skill points than the other time I was here as well. Also put some stuff in here as well. These are no chance by the best. Don't bother putting wealth in. You might as well put Gale Winds in instead if you're going to do anything. Mainly because wealth is not that great for Deadeyes because there's no speciality needed to begin with. Anyways, first of all, we got Spiral Tracker with Weakness Exposure. Main thing is to just get the 10% crit on the party instead of just relying on Equilibrium as well to get that crit up. Next up is Enforced Execution. That's just to get the no kicking up foes in the air but just paralyzing them instead. That's very, very good as well and also does a bit of damage. Next up, you want to get Max Equilibrium, obviously, with Vital Point Shot being the max. As you can see here, I've also upped my specs on enemy rate and that. Basically, it's just more damage overall with Equilibrium, especially against challenge mode mobs. And not to mention as well, the crit rate goes up on it as well, which is probably want your crit rate to be quite high. But with Enhanced Weapon, this is probably just a bit overkill. Now, with Deathfire, you do want to get, 61% crits, every single shot crits, basically. More damage, basically 2 times more damage. This actually goes very, very well with Keen Blunt Weapon if you ever get 3 stacks. Like, if you're able to get it to 15, very, very good. Flame Bomb as well. Flame Bomb's actually very, very good as well. 30% extra damage and also gets a burning dot on foes as well to land the bomb. And also mention Infinite Decimation, which allows you for extra damage and also crit damage goes up, which is very, very important. 19% there as well. DPS, especially if you always crit. Now, next one is Silent Apocalypse. Obviously, you go for the full range, you go for the hand shot. Now, another one I've got is the Aftermath of Calamity. So basically, the second value is basically like Rapid Fire, basically, where the last shot does the most damage. You can also do Approach Apocalypse as well if you want to. That kind of makes it more like Rapid Shot. This is like a weaker version of Rapid Fire when you're picking between these two things. Next up is Rapid Fire. Rapid Fire, Special Bullet, and Enhanced. Extended Shot's not that great, but it's just basically these three, which are really, really good. Essentially, Silent Apocalypse and Rapid Fire are basically the same thing. Just a bit slower. Rapid Fire's got quicker than Silent Apocalypse. Dominator as well, full range, Enhanced Fire, which we may need to get an upgrade on here. And CQC as well. CQC is actually very, very important as well because it increases the damage. Even though it removes the last shot, it increases the damage. Last request, I actually chosen to get Incendiary Bomb, Execution, and Double Shot. Double Shot actually means it does double the damage, basically. So basically, it fires 2 shotguns and does 89%. It actually goes up by 9% each time. And also, it combines with Fierce Heat as well. If you want to put Fierce Heat, then it puts Double Dot if you want to go through. However, I've gone with Execution. Execution is probably a good move when you want to move in to dodge a few mechanics. There's an extra movement ability, and that's why I use it for. Not purely for the damage, just because you can move in and that's it. Now, Clay Bombardment is still my awakening skills. Basically, Clay Bombardment does like 3 mil as well, and launches around the air, and it does a very, very good chunk of damage. And that's the skills at the moment. The runes, I'm going to say, mainly for the Iron Wall on both of these. For protection on Deathfire just gives you a little shield. Generally, what I do is I Deathfire during Argos's Moon phase when I'm cheesing it, so I get a bit of an extra 9%, 8% shield. Rage is generally just making sure if I do get it, I can run the quicker. This one was my Summer Soul Shot, given that I use it quite a bit, and it's this low cooldown, it actually helps all the other cooldowns. This one's just get my Shotgun Dominator done quickly. It's a channeled spell, and you want to get out of that holding position as quickly as you can. This one as well is just basically, since I use it as a gap closer, if I get movement speed increased, more the better. So these are all give stagger, so Overwhelm. So basically, Last Request gives a stagger, Rapid Fire gives a stagger. It just increases damage if I do need to make a stagger check. And this is just random. I didn't put it randomly there as well. I've got some runes here that I can assign, but like it wouldn't be too much to assign to begin with. Next up, we got the we got the Skins and Virtues. Doesn't really matter, to be fair. Just Skins and Virtues is going to top these up. Next up, we got Engravings. Level 3 Enhanced Weapon. I got some of the Argos stuff to get Enhanced Weapon up. Next up, you want to get up is an Ambush Master. You can get Adrenaline up if you want as well. Adrenaline's quite good, so getting Ambush Master to free and Adrenaline to free is the ones you probably want to aim for. All out attack is alright. You know, alright. Basically, you know, boost up Dominated Deathfire, but not to the thing. The other things you can get, as I said, Keen Blunt Weapon is another one that you can get. You can get level 3 of it, because that'll benefit well all around. But main thing you want to get is a level 3 Enhanced Weapon. It basically gives you free 30% crit rate, because you'd be switching between pistols and shotgun really, really quickly. Now, Gems. Gems overall is Equilibrium's a no-brainer. Dominator's a no-brainer. Excited Poggles. Basically, you want every single shotgun skill that you have getting plus damage and getting minus cooldown. So you can see here I'm missing Last Request cooldown, and you can just basically replace it with anything. In fact, you can replace it with effectively anything in here. Like, you know, you can reduce your damage of, I'd say the Equilibrium, reduce your damage of is probably the more important one, because Equilibrium doesn't do too much damage compared to, for example, Deathfire. Deathfire actually does a lot more damage than anything because of the crit damage that goes up from your gems. Now, cards, I got Will Meet Again and 4% HP. There's a lot of different card sets that you can get. Will Meet Again is really, really good in execute phases, where you just do an extra bit of damage when a mob's below 50% or more, and that's pretty much it. Now, we're going to give you guys a bit of a demonstration. A few people liked it last time, and this time, as you can see, I'm in tier 3. And you've seen what I spec'd into, you've seen what I made into. Let's put it into the action. Okay, let's put it into the action on a, well, non-resident Singo. Also as well, with these guys, you know, make sure you're using all your abilities and stuff like that. So you can see I'm using Cruel Tracker. Then I've got the all-out attack being used as well. And just essentially what you're going to do is just let them come to you, and then basically gather them up and shoot them down. Now, Spiral Tracker as well does give a bit of a stun, and you can see Dominator here with the all-out attack and the quicker cast time, able to just decimate very, very quickly. And essentially, these are just, you know, these are very, very easy at the end of the day. Like, these are Chaos Dungeons, but it just really irradiates what your thing does. And you can see here with Last Request that I just move a bit forward, and that helps out so much more. And also, not to mention, the shield here from Deathfire is very, very valuable as well, especially getting hit in Chaos Dungeons where you can save your potions and save that little bit of silver, like, because every bit helps basically. Now, as per my Chaos Dungeon gun as well, as soon as you be able to see the portal, you may basically go in, because it's no point. Now, generally with these guards as well, generally these Chaos Dungeons, you also generally quit by the major boss. The reason why you do that is because there's nothing really after the major boss that you really need to get a hold of, as far as I know. Because you want to be basically trying to farm cube tickets and stuff like that. Well, actually not cube tickets, but you want to be farming boss rush tickets, purely because of the amount of honing stones that they give away. If you guys don't know, they gave away like 24 honing stones on one rate. But, like, you know, that depends on where you are and if you're in, you know, a certain zone or not. They can increase or decrease depending on what zone you're in. So if you're in Yawn or something like that and done Faden, and you're able to do Faden, you probably should do so. And same as vice versa. If you need hit 1470 to get the greater ones, you probably want to do that as well. So as you can see, a bit of a, I'm not sure what the CPU issue is at the moment. You can see my CPU just skipping a beat. And, you know, you can see the things that I am doing to keep these things alive. Now, basically, when you get them all in a corner like that, shotgun abilities will basically be king here as well. Now, with accessories as well, the things that I do mainly spec into is, we'll go through it a bit later as well, mainly when we get to the next stage, because, you know, I don't have to move to start it. Now, the next stage that I'll get into as well is the accessories, and is the things that I basically spec into. Now, the main thing that you do want to spec into is 100% specialization. Specialization is going to be probably one of your biggest talents for dealing damage. And the next one is probably going to be crit, but not too much crit, like probably, I'll say 10% crit at most, because most of your ability is going to crit regardless due to enhanced weapon. So it's not going to be of huge use. Now, just waiting for the boss to activate. Now, with the boss here as well, you straight away use your awakening ability to do a ton of damage to him. If you don't hit him, then you're going to have to use your shotgun damages to kill him. And that's the unfortunate part there, as I went too far in. Now you can see here with the ability here, you know, Deathfire doing a lot of damage here. And since you're always critting, that choice of the tripod extends so much. So you're basically getting a boss key here as well, but just very, very rare in getting a boss key. And you also can get honing stones as well. So let's go through the accessories before I get attacked. So the accessories here, as you can see here, being basically specialization, as you can see here, and a bit of crit. Ignore that domination expertise. Like, once I get things I can get rid of that with, I will get rid of that. Like some of my neck has expertise, stuff like that as well. Domination expertise really don't do much because you don't really have too many CC to deal with in PvE content. Maybe in PvP content, but the problem is with PvP content is that you get a model character, you don't get your own stats. So you might as well use your book of coordination to go for it, essentially, to do that more damage. Now you can see execution there, doing a lot of damage as well, and also avoiding as well. Now usually if you're doing a non-aura resonance run, you quit here. The reason why, there's nothing really much to look at after this. Like after you do all of this, there's really nothing, not this, but the second boss, there's nothing to look at because all you're really grinding for is Shard of Petrifications, and to be fair, no one really likes to do that, okay? Unless, of course, you don't get the weekly bonuses to get as well. In tier 3, it's infinite, and it goes up for each one you grind. And I'll tell you now, unless you desperately need gold, probably not a good idea for that, especially after a certain amount where it's just like, mate, you're just better off just grinding rapports and grinding other stuff and getting other collectibles instead of just grinding mindlessly for chaos dungeons as well. I mean, there's a lot of collectibles out there that will be accessible to tier 3, as in my previous videos as well. But yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. That's pretty much it, guys, as we get a bit of a, last example of the build and stuff like that as we just pile through this chaos dungeon, and we'll probably finished up just shortly. But that's how the build works, basically. It's just you do a lot of damage. Generally in my runs, I don't do too much damage at the moment. Or, so much damage that, doing more damage than anyone else. And that's because, low gear level. Also at the same time as well, I'm not exactly the best at my Deadeye, and I'm just learning the process as I go along. Now, there's maybe a few guys that include a rifle. Whenever I include the rifle, it's just very, you can't move too much. And also, not to mention, the damage is a lot lower, and none of your real weapons just synergize with, or any of your things really synergize it with it at all. So the engraved weapon, what do you need? Just go through quickly as well before we get out. The engravings, enhanced, ambush master, and adrenaline. You can mix it up with keen blunt knife if you get at 15, and all out attack if you want to, but that's not really intended. The other thing as well, the gear, especially accessories, focus on getting specialization, focus on getting either a bit of crit and specialization and a bit of swiftness, because you do need to move around as well, because Deadeyes are very needed to move around, okay? Because you need to dodge a lot of things, because usually close in melee range, so some of the melee things can hit you. Now, gems, basically make sure all your shotgun abilities, which are going to all be your hard-hitting abilities, have cooldown and damage on it. Also, make sure Deathfire has cooldown and damage, because that's going to be your second biggest ability. And Equilibrium needs to have at least cooldown or damage, doesn't really matter which. To be fair, I prefer cooldown to keep the crit resistance up for your party. And cards, just think of the ones that will do the most damage for you, okay? Whatever cards you've got, okay? Go for it, because you may not get the best cards as of yet, but eventually you probably grind out to it. It's probably a lot in the guides as well for certain situations you want to go to. These ones just work for me, basically. And that's pretty much it. Also, as well, you guys can celebrate that I did kill Argos the other day, and I got a really good gun, as you can see here, a 95 quality gun. And hope you guys have a lovely day, and hope this guide helps you out. And I know it's a bit longer than the other guides, but it's more to love. See you guys later. Peace out.